Hey, you guys, it's your gay sports fanatic here. And this week, of course, we're going to talk about these conference championship games that are coming. And I really wonder if this trip is necessary. I do not like these conference championship games anymore. Now that we have a 12-team playoff, they make no sense to me at all. And I'll tell you why. Because, first, how about the players? Let's just talk about the players for a second. They could use a week off. They played a grueling 12-game schedule over 4 months, and I would give them this week off to just get it together before they have to dive into the college football playoff. That's how I would handle it. I think the teams that aren't in these conference championship games, but yet are going to make the playoff, they're glad they're not in these. They don't want to be in these. They want the week off. So that's one thing. Just there is the players. The other is, how about the fans? So let's say you're seeded 9th through 12th, okay, and you're in a conference championship game. So let's say Arizona State. I'm just going to throw them out. So let's say you got to go to Dallas for this conference championship. Let's say you win it. Okay, then you're in the playoff. Then you're probably seeded 12th. Well, you're on the road again for that first game. Let's say you win it. Let's say you're starting to get on a roll. Well, then you're going to go on the road again for the Elite Eight, we'll call it. So let's say you win there. Then you go to the Final Four. You're on the road again. Then let's say you win that and you go to the championship. You're on the road again. That's 5 weeks in a row that your fans are expected to hop from here, all over the United States. First off, who's got the time? Who's got the money? This is over the holidays, by the way, too. I mean, who can do all this? And I think of the coaches and the players too, having to crisscross all over and never getting a week off. You're asking these teams at these conference championships to potentially play 16 games in a row. I mean, I just think it's ridiculous to ask of the players. I think this week should just be cleared. I think let the players have a week off to regroup. This has been a long season. Just give them a week, and the teams that have a bye would get 2 weeks to really kind of get it together. So, again, players, fans, but money is what we're talking about here. Bucks. So anyway, they do exist. We've got to talk about them. These conference championship games. So the first one, the Big Ten, which is Penn State versus Oregon. This game should never take place. What does Oregon have to prove? They are clearly the best team in the Big Ten in playing the regular season. They're clearly number one. Yet they've got to go play one more game against a good Penn State team. So if Oregon loses, Penn State goes to the Big Ten. It takes the spot as the bye in the Big Ten as a Big Ten champion. This is wrong. Okay, it's just wrong. Anyway, so Oregon is giving away 3.5 points to Penn State. I'm going to say that Oregon secures their spot anyway as the number one team in the playoff. I'm taking Oregon, and I'm going to throw away the 3.5. Although this is a tight one, Penn State's a pretty good team, very good team. So Oregon, throw away the 3.5. Next, we have another game that should not be being played, which is Georgia and Texas. And don't think that Tennessee's and the Alabamas are so glad they're not in this game. That's also true of the Big Ten. I'm sure Indiana's like, thank God we don't have to play this thing and rack up a third loss, So Georgia and Texas, they played earlier in the season. Georgia killed Texas. Georgia is a 2.5 point underdog in this game. I want Georgia. I think Georgia will beat Texas again. This will knock Texas, I believe, out of the bye, and Georgia will have the bye. Again, a game that should not be taking place. They shouldn't have to play each other again. So anyway, grabbing Georgia, and I'm taking the 2.5. Next up is Clemson and SMU. SMU shouldn't have to play Clemson. SMU's had a fantastic season. Clemson, they're okay, but Clemson has no business playing for I got nothing against Clemson at all, but they have no business playing for a spot in the college football playoff. None, but they do because of this game. So we've got Clemson and SMU, and I think SMU, I'm going to take them. They're going to stop Clemson's dreams of being in the college football playoff where they don't belong. So SMU is a 2.5 point favorite in this game. I like SMU throw away the 2.5. I actually think SMU is a legitimate team. I think they are by far the best team in the ACC, which some people may say isn't saying much, but I think SMU is legit. I don't, you would, let's watch SMU and we'll get to that when we get to the playoffs. So next up is another game. This conference shouldn't have a team in at all. Quite frankly, I'm talking about the Big 12. It's Iowa State and Arizona State. I guess you could just not play this game too and say Arizona State gets in, as certainly as a 12 seed. But this is a game. Iowa State, hey, I'm from near Iowa. I have nothing against Iowa State, but they have no business playing for a spot and as with a bye, or not a bye. I won't get a bye because of Boise State, but Iowa State has no business playing for a spot in the college football playoff. They have no business doing that at all. Yet here they are. So Iowa State, Arizona State. I think Arizona State as well is going to block the team that shouldn't be in there. Again, I'm not so sure Arizona State should be either, but Arizona State is giving away 2, and I am taking Arizona State. So take Arizona State, throw away the 2 points. So in every game, I've taken the favorite except Georgia and Texas, where I think Georgia will actually win this game if they're getting 2.5. That's one for you bettors. I would take Georgia maybe to just flat out win. I think they will, even though they had to do it in September, early October too. So you guys, I always say, enjoy your games this week, and I'll be watching them, but I'm going to come back again and say they shouldn't exist. So anyway, you guys, have a good Saturday. Feel free to thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm sure we get some thumbs down here. Feel free to comment. And also, of course, as always, if you want to subscribe, you'll be notified of all these little videos that I do. So I'll be doing more because we're going to get into the playoff. And I am excited, you guys. I want to say this about the playoff. This is going to be fun. So you guys have a great one. We'll see you next week. Thank you.